Ruby's early years were marked by the harsh realities of the Jim Crow South, a time when racial segregation was embedded into everyday life through laws and social customs. Her childhood unfolded during a pivotal time in American history. The landmark 1954 Supreme Court case, Brown v. Board of Education, ruled that segregation in public schools was unconstitutional. The decision was monumental, but its implementation faced fierce resistance in the South. Southern states used legal loopholes, intimidation, and outright violence to delay desegregation. Schools still remained segregated despite the Supreme Court's ruling. White parents, politicians, and communities fought integration with protests and threats. For Black children, attempting to enroll in white schools was an act of unimaginable courage, as they risked harassment, violence, and ostracization. In 1960, at just 6 years old, Ruby Bridges unknowingly became the face of school desegregation in New Orleans. She was one of 6 African American children selected to integrate the schools after passing rigorous academic tests, which were created so Black kids can fail and not be able to attend all white schools. Ruby became the first African American child to integrate William Frantz Elementary School. She walked to school surrounded by 4 federal marshals every day, because outside the school, a mob of angry white protesters gathered, shouting insults, threats, and racial slurs. Some carried signs while others hurled vicious epithets. One woman even brought a coffin with a black doll inside, a horrifying attempt to intimidate Ruby. White parents pulled their children from classrooms in protest. But a courageous white teacher, Barbara Henry, was the only educator willing to teach Ruby. For an entire year, Ruby sat alone in her classroom, learning in isolation. No other students attended class with her. The pressures Ruby faced were immense. Her family also paid a heavy price. Her father lost his job, her grandparents were evicted from the farm where they worked, local grocery stores refused to sell food to them, and they faced constant harassment and threats of violence. Her mother reminded her each day to pray for those who hated her. Ruby later shared that she did just that, praying for the protesters outside her school, asking God to forgive them. She endured so much hate with remarkable composure for a 6-year-old child. Ruby Bridges' courage paved the way for school integration across the country. Though she was too young to fully comprehend the historical significance of her actions, her bravery inspired a nation to confront its systemic racism.